Hey guys, happy to be back bringing you another video today. Got a Thanksgiving special for you. If you are watching this on Thanksgiving, hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. So today we're going to be cleaning up some more parts, getting some more stuff ready for this RM project that we're doing. So let's cut straight to the point and jump into today's video. Let's go. So what we had going on in the last video, we were cleaning up the frame and the swing arm. Swing arm is all done. The frame we were prepping for powder coat, and now you can see it is all coated, looking great. I'll show you how all this turned out. I absolutely love this color. It is a forged charcoal from Prismatic. It's a little bit darker, a little bit flatter than the original Suzuki color. Now we did some repairs on the bottom of the frame here, and let's take a look at how those covered up. Let me get a little better angle on it so you can see it isn't perfect. There's a little indentation there. It is kind of distortion with the tube of the frame, but regardless, I think I could have done it better with the filler. I'm not going to complain for the first time around. This one has a little low spot as well. I could have primered it and sanded it just to see how well of a job I did on the filler. I'll do that next time. But you can see the powder actually adhered to that JB weld really good. I don't see any light spots or any issues with the coating, so that's great. Now the powder coating was done by a guy local to me, Travis over at Limitless Coatings. Always does a flawless job, makes sure all the threads are masked off, just does everything perfect. Good guy to have in your corner. So I will link him down below for you guys that are in the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. Check him out. As for the swing arm, I ended up taking this a few steps further since you guys last saw it. I smoothed out the wear spots underneath the chain slider, smoothed over some other areas, just made this thing absolutely flawless. But it turned out really beautiful. I'm just really OCD about that stuff. But at this point, the swing arm is completely done. Frame is done. So let's move on to some other parts. Now the first order of business is to fix up this linkage. This is actually off the original RM. So all the bearings are shot, all rusted and falling apart inside of there. So I'm gonna clean this linkage up, pop out the bearings, and get it ready to fix up. All right, these parts cleaned up pretty good. Just going to pop out the bearings and seals now. Now that's about as nasty as it gets right there. This bearing is just beyond destroyed. See, it just falls apart in there. Yeah, that's why you keep your bearings greased and clean. Now to pop these bearings out so we can replace them, we're going to take two sockets, basically one that fits with the bearing and then one that fits on the other side. So matches up with the outer diameter there. And when you apply pressure to this socket over here, you'll see, but it'll push those bearings out and into the inside of that socket. An easier way to do this is with a blind bearing puller. If you guys have one of these, they are really handy. Basically, just take one of these adapters, hook it to the bearing, use your slide hammer and yank it out. Now I realize everyone doesn't have those, so we're gonna use the cheap method just with these sockets. Now a few little things that'll help here in the vise. Put your piece in the middle of the vise, so that way you're equally distributing the force. And then whatever way you're pushing the bearings out, you want to have the handle on this side, so the leading edge. So we're going to be pushing the bearings out that way. So snug it up, and then we've got a torch. We're going to heat it up, and that'll allow things to just kind of move a little easier. Now we're most of the way through here. Now if you come to a tough spot, just apply some more heat. You don't want to push it and possibly crack the linkage. Obviously wear a pair of safety glasses in case things decide to explode here. So we're bottomed out on that socket. I'm going to pull this out. Looks like we've got one bearing out of here. And we are going to use a little deeper socket here. Should be able to push that one the rest of the way out. She done. One thing I forgot to mention, before you pop those bearings out, you want to make note of where those bearings sit inside the bore. So that way when you put the new ones in, you can kind of have a reference of how deep they need to be. All right, I'm just gonna knock out these other two bearings and then we can just move along. Woo! I think we got them though. All right, here's where we ended up. Pretty glorious sight with all this crusty and rustiness going on. But while I'm waiting on new bearings, I'm gonna clean up the linkage a little bit more, clean up the bores with some Scotch-Brite, get them ready for the new bearings, shine it up, get rid of these casting marks, and do the same with the linkage arms as well. Got those bearing bores all cleaned up with a little abrasive wheel. New bearing should just pop right in without any issues. What's nice about this wheel, it's not super abrasive, so it's not gonna wear away the material there. I'm gonna take these parts over to the buffing machine and clean them up. I already started on this one, smoothing out these casting lines. Basically, I'm just gonna blend all this in and give everything a nice factory clean look. After a few minutes on the bench grinder, got this piece smoothed out really nicely. Obviously there's some areas you can't get into with the larger wheels on the grinder there, but I'm gonna use the die grinder to finish it off. Should just be able to smooth those right out. Got the linkage looking beautiful so far. Just gonna finish it off over here on the bench grinder with this fine wheel, and the die grinder, the smaller wheel on some of the tighter areas. And you can actually use the rougher wheel here on the die grinder to smooth out some of those casting lines too. I used it in some of the tighter areas. Nice little tool to have. The triangle piece is all done, turned out great. Pretty excited about this. Basically resembles like a works part. So now I'm gonna do the same with the linkage arms. Just gonna follow the exact same process. The arms are all done and they turned out really good as well. All I used on these were the two wheels on the buffer, the flap wheel, the fine cleaning wheel. Really happy with how these turned out. Now a few little pointers if you guys are going to be tackling something like this. If you end up with a little waviness in your part, grab some sandpaper. Better yet, grab a sanding block, throw some 220 or 320 grit sandpaper on there, and you can kind of even out the part. That way you don't have dips and waves in your part. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, you want to sand in one direction. So on these I chose to do the long direction of the part, so sand like this. You don't want to go across. On this part as well, I went up and around. Gives it a nice consistent shine. Now the key to getting a really consistent finish like we have here is to go consistently across the part. If you hold the wheel in one area too long, you'll end up with a little dip. So always make sure you are spreading out the pressure there. We've got something exciting coming up tomorrow actually. I wish I could have given you guys a little more of a heads up on it, but I'm actually doing a show out in Post Falls, Idaho. It is a motorcycle show, kind of like an expo kind of deal. I've actually never done one before, and it is 5 o'clock the night before, and I don't have anything set up. I've got some ideas, but I've got nothing built for the show, so I should probably get busy. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, what the heck are you building here? So this is gonna be like a banner wall slash backstop for the buffing machine. I'm just bringing out this little grinder here with some wheels on it for people to test out. And just in case someone catches an edge and flings apart, I don't want it hitting anyone or hitting anything. So little backstop, and then I'm gonna do up some graphics. Trying to figure out what I want to do there. Might just do a logo, prime, and I don't know. I'll whip up something special. I'd say that turned out pretty good for a last minute deal. Just gonna throw some paint on the edges here and call it good. Just finished up my product displays. These turned out pretty cool. Just bent them out of aluminum roll. Pretty simple. Just gotta load up the trailer and I'll be ready to rip out in the morning. All right, this is setup, guys. Got the bike set up here on stand. Got a little buffing station back there. TV set up. All the merch and product. Austin's out here helping me out. He's got his stuff out here too. Brought the RM engine out. It's got a bunch of cool stuff on display. Now with the linkage done for today, still waiting on the bearings for them. I'm gonna move on to the next little project here, and that will be the triple clamps. Gonna be replacing the bearings on these, smoothing them out, and doing some Cerakote work. So first thing we gotta do is get that lower bearing cut off of there. Now to get that lower bearing off, there's a few different approaches here. So number one, you can press the stem out of the lower triple clamp and the bearing will just fall right off. I do have a press and I could show you guys, but I'll show you an alternative method I've used a few times. You can just do with a few tools like a hammer and a punch. Helps to have a pair of soft jaws, help protect that triple clamp. And we're just gonna use a pair of side cutters to cut the outer race on that bearing. At this point, might as well just pry this guy off of here. Bearing's destroyed anyways. A little snip and we are off. Slide this thing off of here. Now the reason I popped the outer race off is so that way I can chisel on this lip right here. That'll help a lot in working this thing off of here. And try your best to work this thing off evenly. Gonna come from the back side. Sometimes we like that a little better. All right, there she goes. Wasn't too bad. Now I just noticed there's a broken off bolt in the bottom of this triple clamp. While we're at it, while we're over here, let's work that one out. Now this thing's a little uneven. I'm gonna grind it flat so I can work on it a little easier. I'm gonna find the direct center, give it a little punch mark. I'm gonna drill a hole in this bolt. That way I can get a tool in there to help spin this back out. Now I should be able to pound a Torx bit in here. And what's nice about a Torx bit, it's got so many little teeth on it to help grab that bolt. Of course it helps to have a little heat. And let's see what happens. Come on, baby. Let's go. Really not wanting to budge. Oh, shit. All right, well, the Torx bit broke off in there, so I'm gonna grind this flat again and drill the whole thing out. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but this one is a lost cause. I hate giving up on projects like this, but I already messed up a few tools trying to get this thing out. It is just so far stuck in there that I'm just gonna destroy the triple clamp and ruin a bunch of tools trying to get it out of there. So I think what happened is someone put too long of a bolt in there, snapped it off, and at that point it is so far stuck that you would have to drill things apart and auger the crap out of this thing to get it usable again. So I'm gonna cut my losses there and just go buy a used one on eBay for $30 or $40. Now unfortunately, the other triple clamp I have off the other bike is from an RMZ and it ain't gonna match up with what I'm trying to do here. So I'm just gonna wait for that used one to come in. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on the top triple clamp. I'm gonna smooth out these casting marks. just this casting line around the edge here and get it ready for coating. This thing's smoothed out nicely. It's gonna look awesome with a Cerakote on top of it. Almost kind of want to leave it that brushed bare aluminum. Always a good look, but got a cool color picked out for these triples here. So as soon as the new lower comes in, I'm gonna spray these out in the next video. Well, today didn't really go to plan. It's all right, just how it goes sometimes. Kind of halted our progress on the bike here, but there is something else I want to work on here in the shop. So being that tomorrow's Thanksgiving and today is actually my birthday, I want you guys to guess how old I am. Drop it down below. But I want to whip up something cool for you guys as a little gift, show my appreciation for you all. You guys have given me plenty of gifts over the years. So I've got some cool stuff to whip up for you guys over on the printer. So over here is my graphic printing setup. I use this for all the labels and stickers that I do with Prime. All these stickers here. Just whip this guy up in Illustrator. I'm gonna send it over to the old trusty printer. All right, the stickers are on their way out. Let's see how they're turning out. Got my roll of stickers, gonna bring them over to the cutter where we're gonna cut all these out individually. So the first cut we're doing here is through the front of the vinyl, and then we're gonna flip it over and cut through the backing. Now the machine is cutting through the backing. It'll allow the sticker to just pop out from the whole sheet, and you'll have a nice sticker with a rounded edge. I'll show you when it's all done. Now here's the finished product. They just pop out from the roll, just like that. And you got a nice sticker. And also, you have a nice little edge to peel up that backing. By the way, this is actually a clear sticker, not a brown. Let me peel it up a little bit and see it's got a clear backing here. Let's actually throw it on one of the bikes and I'll show you what it looks like. Pretty cool stuff. All right, I got another sticker I just whipped up here. It's coming out of the printer right now. This one's pretty cool. A little bit different though. I like how these ones came out. They would be perfect for slapping on your buddy's 4-stroke. So stickers are all done. Got a couple stacks of them here. If you guys want them, they will be free with any order you place on the store today and tomorrow. So that's November 25th and November 26th. So just go in the store, order anything. You will get one of each sticker. Hold on, I got something else for you. I also have a bunch of jet tags. I will include one of these with each order. Open this thing up. These are pretty badass as well. So you'll be getting one of these jet tag and one of each sticker with any order you place on the store today and tomorrow, so November 25th and 26th. And I just added some new apparel to the store the other day. I've got a red hoodie, a long sleeve, 2 strokes 2020, keep America stoked. This thing is really soft and smooth. Love that one. And we've got the CR shirt over here. This has the CR250 printed on the back of it. This turned out really good. So yeah, got some new stuff. Go check it out if you like what you see. Now I know this is a little bit shorter of a video. Hope you guys still enjoyed it. But the next time you see a video on the channel, we'll be popping in some fresh bearings, finishing up those triple clamps. Should have the new one in by then. And probably refinishing a bunch of hardware on the bike too. So lots of great things coming your way. And thank you so much for watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys are learning from them or at least enjoying them. It really means a lot to have your guys' support. And so with that, I will see you guys soon. Keep it prime.